Hello, welcome to You Haven't Blanked That. I'm Forrest.
And this is Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Forrest.
This week we watched two movies.
For
John Carpenter month.
dun, 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 dun.
Escape from New York and Escape from L.A.
Yes, we did.
Jimmy, do you have a description for... We'll do Escape from New York's first, and we can jump into L.A. later.
Perfect. Okay, in 1997, a major war between the United States and the Soviet Union is concluding. And the entire island of Manhattan has been converted into a gigantic maximum security prison. When Air Force One is hijacked and crashed into the island, the president is taken hostage by a group of inmates. Snake Pleszczynski.
Pliskin? What the fuck? Did you watch?
I did.
Did you watch two movies with this fucking name? They call him Pliskin throughout the whole fucking thing, and he's like, "Call me fucking Snake."
Yeah. A former special force soldier turned criminal is recruited to retrieve the president in exchange for his own freedom. This was a movie.
You didn't like it?
I loved it. I thought it was
so
good.
Fucking fun.
Okay,
so did you get what I asked this back when we watched when we were talking about when we watched The Thing? I asked if he was acting like somebody in the thing. I forgot who I said, but because if you watch this movie,
yeah,
he's basing his character on Clint Eastwood.
Okay, I can see that.
If you watch Big Trouble in Little China,
yeah,
Kurt Russell is basing that on John Wayne.
Oh, okay.
So
he's got like a cowboy theme.
Well, no, he's kind of like kind of an over-exaggerated John Wayne.
Yeah. And I can see
that now.
you see the Clint Eastwood for sure in this.
But if you watch Big Trouble, he's an over-exaggerated John Wayne.
Yeah. This movie, I liked it, but it turns out there's a lot about this movie that I knew
already
of, sort of.
What did you know?
I've seen, because I always look up pictures of like punk jackets and like different styles, because I want to make more jackets, and I've seen certain images. I'm like, oh no, I know that look. Like the Duke, I knew that costume. I just didn't know where he was from.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's where this is from. Also, there's a picture online. It's a meme. I posted it maybe like a couple weeks ago, where it was like, when I win the lotto, I won't tell anybody, but there'll be signs. And it was that Cadillac with the chandeliers.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, it's this car. Like, it was like a lot of different things just pop up that I've seen before. I didn't know they were tied to this movie. This was surprisingly fun, different, and it was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Obviously the cost to make this film the budget had to be low.
You can tell that the budget's low
Because because you're watching, you're like, okay, cool. And I treat every movie like, okay, cool. Like your backgrounds or whatever. If it's crap, I don't care. I'll go along. I'll pretend with you. But if the story's good, that makes up for everything. Yeah. And the story I thought was really good. Like it was very. They had a very clear vision of what they wanted, and I felt like they did it really well.
This movie was co-written by Nick Castle, who played Mike Myers in the original Halloween.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this one, I liked it, and especially, I noticed how immediately when the plane, Air Force One, crashed into that building, that building was still standing. Because steel doesn't melt.
Okay.
But I did like the whole, I like their little, gimmicks for, their plot holes, to get rid of, the whatever. The plane was obviously going to crash because there was no way around it crashing.
Yeah.
If it's gonna crash there, it's gonna like, be destroyed. But I like how they had the Darth Vader chamber for the president.
Yeah.
To sit him in and have him drop down. And I like the graphics of the plane crashing into the building and just this little plop.
Yeah.
It's like bird poop of the president coming down. But like it was just like it was cool because it reminded me of like not so much Gangs of New York, but like the Warriors, because like you had these different like kind of factions all over town, and then you couldn't go down Broadway because of certain things, and then like, but I like how when like the cops came in to like rescue the president, they all got scared and had to back off because they came up, but they gave him the president's like finger with the presidential seal, and that made me mad because I'm like, none of these presidents have their ring signet. Like they should all be wearing it like kings. Like so, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. But like, the characters were good. Like the sequences of events were like, they were exciting because I didn't know where it was gonna go. Because I assume president's dead. Oh, this is just like a
thing.
A mission for failure. You know what I mean? But no, like it was just like one exciting thing to another. Then you run into another post special force agent, the Brain, and then you're like, okay, and then so like it's all these like little things. You're like, oh, this is like very like well thought, well imagined, well developed, like 3-dimensional story, and it's like I enjoyed it very much. But so when did this because this movie came out in 80.
Yeah, something like that. 81.
Yeah, when did you watch it?
My pops I was a teenager. My pops had it on, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he goes, oh, it's Escape from New York. It's a fucking John Carpenter movie. Tell me everybody. And that's the first time I saw it. So I was like 14 or 15. It was on TV. And
obviously, Kurt Russell's character is based off of Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, did you pick up on that?
Yeah, like the one he came out, I'm like, oh yeah, I know his look. I'm like, all right.
I know who. Well, he's not based on that. The game is
based on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was all pretty good. The tattoo on his stomach was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it was at its time. It was just bad makeup, but I thought it was pretty good. But I like how he was just shirtless half the time, just showing off like, just like leaning against the ropes. Yeah.
So yeah, this movie came out before The Thing.
Yeah, it did. So this it was very. I think this is a great movie. I think it's a solid, great movie.
There's a couple things with this. They had always tried to make a sequel. John Carpenter tried to make a sequel. Well, a third sequel.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that. How about we get to that?
Okay, we'll get to that. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I thought it was great. The characters, all the different characters, I thought were fantastic.
Yeah.
He kills women pretty easily in this movie. We're like, all right, yeah.
Emily started it, and she's like, this is boring. And then she came back and was like into it. And I'm like, I thought this was fucking boring, Emily.
Yeah. I do like the mole people that crawl underneath the rat people and grab that woman and drag her down to her death. You're like, but it's, so like, I don't think they made it clear, but they get rations once a month.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're saying that at the end of the month, they're like, they'll start eating each other.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I think that's like their,
in-house lore.
Their their metaphor for like welfare.
Oh, okay.
He wrote this. The film is actually
I didn't even go deep on I was just
the film
watching
is actually a reaction to the Watergate scandal.
This
is.
Oh, okay.
That's what they wrote it as, a reaction.
I just took it in as like, oh, we're watching a fun movie today.
He wrote it in the mid-70s, and it's a reaction to the Watergate. So he actually wrote this movie before, because when does Halloween come out? Like late 70s, right?
Yeah, like 79?
77, 79, something like that?
I
would say 78, right. 77, 79, right? Because I think he does Halloween 1. When does Halloween 2 come out?
Oh, I'm pulling up the...
Oh, God, you're going to use fucking Google, and you're going to be like, oh, he wrote...
1978.
78 is when Halloween came out?
Yeah.
And then when does Halloween 2 come out? 79 or 80?
Hold on. Google's not responding.
No, but it says here he wrote American Tail.
He wrote Fivefold Goes West. That's crazy.
It's insane.
Halloween 2, 1981.
So then is this 1980?
This has to be 1980.
Is this in between then?
It's 1980.
Okay.
Yeah. Escape from New York, 1980.
Yeah, because okay, so but yeah, and then he does. Does he do? So then does he do? Does he do the Thing over? No, he does Halloween. Does he do Halloween 3? Yeah, he does. He does the Thing over Halloween 3 then, right? Because he always wanted Halloween 3 to be the Halloween movies to be an anthology series.
The Thing came out in 82.
82.
Yeah.
And this was 1980.
Yeah, 1980.
Okay, I thought the Thing was 84 for some reason. No, Big Trouble's 84, 85, right?
It's 84.
84, 85, 86, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Oh no, Escape from New York, 1981.
Okay. So it's Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and then Escape from New York?
Yeah.
And then he didn't do Halloween 3, didn't start working with Kurt Russell movies.
Yeah. So
that Kurt Russell business.
But yeah, like
Ernest Borgnine pops up.
Yeah, dude, like you got some great people in here, and then like
Dean Stanton.
Even like the points where like, I like how they didn't make him like the ultra superhero that doesn't get hurt, doesn't get like whatever. Like he gets his ass beaten pretty good.
But that death match bad fight at the end.
Yeah, well, and plus he had to stab in the leg too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I like how like it was just like, it's chaotic enough. Everything was just kind of like, being that it was low budget, also made it feel more real. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like, yeah, you're not gonna have stands in whatever place that you're at. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But when he landed on the Twin Towers, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then like, so he landed his plane right. It's there. Everything's all great. And then when they go talk to his old buddy, now called Brain, the Brain was like, he's like sitting there with like this giant map of New York and so Manhattan. He's like, he can't land a plane in Central Park because there's no way there. He can't land here. He would need someplace high. And he's like, the World Trade Center. And he just points at it. I'm like, all right, you're supposed to be so smart. Like that should have been like your first like, and like they made him be a genius, but they played him like an idiot. I mean, that was my only beef with the whole movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's such a small thing, but other than that, I thought it was great. Also, the fucker couldn't read a map. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Oh, he was acting. He wasn't reading a map.
Well, no, but like he was like he's supposed to know where it is, you know, where all the mines are.
Acting. He's not reading a goddamn map. And then yeah. So I like this, and it's very like.
What's your favorite part of the movie?
Oh God, dude. I just like Kurt Russell, dude. Like his demeanor is just like fuck you.
Yeah, I do like the scene where the Brain comes in with his girlfriend, and they're like, "Hey, like I'm the Duke sent me down here to go."
Adrian Barbeau.
Yeah, he goes, "The Duke sent me down here to like to check out because he's got cyanide pills in his like suits. I got to make sure." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and then like that's the first time that you also hear the sound of the gun. Because they sound like laser blasters. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, overall, such a, like, fun movie. Like, I expected it to be kind of shitty.
You know,
I expected it to be a lot of talking and not a lot of, like, stuff.
You know, with him, sometimes it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like vampires. I know you like that fucking vampire.
Oh, I liked it.
I don't like that movie.
Yeah.
You tried to get me to watch vampires before, and it just
it's
wasn't
good
for me. And it's so weird because I think... Because Daniel Baldwin's in that movie. And I remember I was telling you a second ago, I'm watching Homicide: Life on the Streets.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the detectives on the show.
Oh, okay. All the Baldwins are dead? Yeah, no, like, I don't know, dude. Like, the only flaw in that movie was literally just the Brain being not as smart or taking so long to get to the World Trade Center as, like, a possible point. But other than that, fantastic. I do like the whole, like, I gotta run here, you gotta run here. None of it seemed repetitive. None of it seemed like they're forcing the story in a direction. It was very, like, it felt very organic, like if it was like happening that night. So I honestly, like, I thought it was a brilliant script.
It's fun.
It was
a fun ass movie.
Yeah, and then like even like when they did the switcheroo at the end, when Kurt Russell at the very end of the film goes to the president and he's getting shaved and getting that suit put on, and he's telling them like, I was thinking you should go as he is, like bearded up, bloodied, bandaged finger, and then just that's how you talk, because you know what I mean, because that shows more strength than you just being clean for the camera. But like when Kurt Russell told him, was like, hey, a lot of good people died getting you here, like, you know, it's like, is there like, was it worth it or whatever, and then he just kind of dismissed him, like,
which also Donald Pleasance as a president, by the way, like.
Then I do like that when at one point they had him with a blonde wig, it just kind of chained up. And the first thing when he gets his hands loose, he rips off that fucking wig. Like, no, everyone's little bits were so perfect, so good. But when like he switches the tapes with at the end, I'm like, I love it. It was so charming, so good. And then I like how he walks away and just rips up the tape with whatever the good tape, and just kind of throws it out the wind and just. That's how you. That's a badass movie. Love it. Badass.
So then, okay. So what do you think of from Escape from LA? What do you have for Escape from LA?
It's the exact same story.
It's the exact same story.
So it happens in the early 2000s when the Millennium earthquake happened, and L.A., Orange County, L.A. gets kind of pushed out into the ocean. A lot of it sinks into the ocean, and then the president has now declared total or forever president role, and so at this point, like, you know, they call him back in, or he gets arrested again, and then he gets brought back into the same like prison type of system. But I just didn't care, and so just to let you know, I did watch this movie. Okay. I watched it years ago, but I didn't see the beginning, and I kind of like saw the end at a different point because it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and that's how I remember it. I'm like, oh yeah, this movie.
Okay.
So, because I do remember, I think I told you last time, or maybe when we weren't recording, I do remember him like being in a park and then trying to figure out where he was going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so that's when I realized, oh, it's this movie. But
I like how they just make LA Australia, where they're just putting all the shitty people on in LA.
There was only one scene that I loved, and I thought, by God, this man needs all the roles he could possibly get. Even now, like, I want to do more of character roles. Also, Steve Buscemi, fantastic.
Oh,
fantastic.
Throw a rock, and he's fantastic.
Dude, he was like such a double cross or triple cross son of a bitch, but he was so likable that you're like, I was always rooting for them to like get back together, because I like that whole their dynamic with each other. But the best actor, hands down, I believe he played a small role called Ash Williams.
Yes, the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills.
Surgeon General of Beverly Hills. Holy crap! Like, his makeup of that chiseled face. Even the background actors in that scene.
Like, everybody has that.
That sharp jawline. That just very like.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was off, but it was so good. It was so good. And like
Kurt. I forgot which one who tells the story. I think it was Bruce Campbell tells the story that. Because of that part in Evil Dead 2 where the head's biting his hand.
Oh yeah.
And he's trying to figure out like what to do.
Yeah.
He goes, tool shed. Right?
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell wanted him to say tool shed like that.
Oh, okay.
Because of that fucking scene.
Yeah.
Tool shed.
But like, I thought it was fantastic. And then like, even like his creepiness to the whole thing, like, it was just like, it was so like, it kind of reminded me a lot of not Scary Farm, Halloween specific genre type of a.
So that what this movie reminds you of?
A little bit. One, yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna jump through these different mazes, and
exactly,
our fucking themes for each area's got a theme.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm like.
Did you like the Disneyland reference?
I did.
The Happy Kingdom by the Sea.
Yeah. And then like, I like how they show Universal under the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like
You know what? I think they did that because I think Universal released New York, Escape from New York.
Oh, okay.
I'm like 80% sure. I think
that was like kind of a nod to that.
So I think it's kind of like a, hey fuckers, you could have released our other movie too.
Yeah, but this one was like I don't know, like it was good. My thing is just like, maybe it was my fault for watching it back to back.
You didn't like.
So when I watched it, because it was like,
I'm gonna tell you that I this is the first time I watched LA and I kind of got into it. I didn't like it the first couple times I saw it. but this is the first time I really liked it. Like, it was just okay.
I didn't hate it. There
No,
were some parts that were great.
It, but I was always just like, oh, this is all right. This is all right.
To me, it was... After watching it and watching this one, it was like such a carbon copy of the first one that you're like, okay, cool. Well, you substitute the battle match with the basketball game. You substitute
it always felt like, well, this feels like what The Hangover 2 did.
Yeah.
It feels like they just took here's the template for the first one. We're gonna do this in the second one.
You know who did a better job of copying the first template and making it better? What's that one movie with Jason Statham?
Oh, I fucking love that movie too. Crank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Crank did a much better job.
Fantastic movie. Crank 2, fucking epic.
Yeah. Where they're fighting like giant monsters at the end.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool. But they took this, I just felt like they just kind of like, okay, well, you want 2, here's 2. So I wasn't sure whether this was like a money grab or not. But I mean, I liked it. It was just too repetitive back to back. Because I did watch them like literally, one was over, fantastic. Second one, the CGI is very dated, but a lot of it's like why'd you have to do that CGI? You could easily just make that practical.
I think he just wanted to because I think he could. You
also want to try using stuff.
I think he was literally just I'm going to try it because how many other fucking Carpenter movies are there CGI in?
None that I can think of.
I didn't see Ghosts from Mars. I've been assuming Ghosts of Mars.
There's CGI in there. Yeah, because at the very end, that scene's all CGI. But it's not as bad as this one.
I never saw it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I never saw it. They were gonna make a sequel to this called Escape from Earth, and it was gonna pick up right after this movie ends.
Okay.
But since this one didn't do as well. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
But it would have picked up a Snake Plissken right after the movie, and he would have some kind of super weapon, and it was this kind of Snake Plissken in a space capsule.
Okay.
But that's all it would have been. Yeah. And then they talked about at one point they were going to do a video game. And it got canceled.
Oh, the video game would be good. That'd be a nice conclusion to this kind of trilogy.
Here's the couple things that's happened. So they were going to remake the movie with Gerard Butler at one point.
Okay, and just start fresh.
Here's what's happening right now, though, is that they're making a sequel, and it's the 21 Jump Street guys.
Oh, okay.
Working on it.
Oh,
and everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to be
Johnny
like a reboot." And the thing is, what I've heard is that no, it's not going to be a reboot. It's going to be
a continuation.
But I don't know, because you'd have to get
Kurt Russell to
do it.
I could see that him coming back as like a older Bruce Wayne, like Batman Beyond type style.
But does he want to do it?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you throw money at him, he'll probably do it.
Let me find it. Come on.
But yeah, overall, like, I mean, I didn't hate it. There was but it was very much Not Spray Farm. Run to this maze, run to that maze, do this. You know what I mean? It like the first one was so organic and so like natural, where this one just was like the budget obviously is way up on this one. And then I was actually super bummed when he met that one girl in the very beginning. Remember?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, we're gonna I'll take just broke up with my boyfriend. Let me take you home." And then they get attacked by the biker gang.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, and then she died like immediately. I'm like, "Oh, that's a bummer." Like, okay.
Okay, so...
But that's more on point on the first movie, too, because all the women were dying. Like, every time he met a new girl, they would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. So, in 2015, Neil Cross, who made Luther... Did you ever watch Luther?
I did see a little bit of it.
He was hired to write a new series entry, so another thing to it, right?
Yeah.
In 2017, Robert Rodriguez was in negotiations to work on a reboot. In 2020, Lee Wannell, who did Saw and your stupid chicken nugget fucking zombie movie.
Oh, yeah.
He was going to take over the franchise at one point.
The Click Apocalypse or whatever the fuck it was
called. And then there was going to be the guys who were working on the Radio Silence, the guys who worked on one of the last Scream movies.
Uh-huh.
But they're not working on it. And it was going to be... They said it was going to be a remake, but it was going to be
Poltergeist. That's the name of the movie.
That's not the name of the movie.
The Poltergeist?
Poltergeist is a different one.
Oh, it is. Oh, is it? No. Yeah, you're right.
But they're not working on it anymore, so yeah. But yeah, it's. I would like a movie to get finished. It would be interesting. You know what? If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna put him in space, and just make it like fucking 2001, just Snake Plissken just trying to figure out 2001 with like a automated him in the space capsule trying to deal with the not like AI.
Okay, well that'd be good. I mean, but I feel like that's too like I think the fun aspect of these movies is like the future.
Areas.
Well, yeah, it was all the different areas, but like the future. Because in 1981, they were talking about 1997, and then in 1996, they were talking about the 2000s,
13 or something like that.
Yeah, and then so now if they were going to do a new one, like I feel like
because we were watching it, and I'm like, hey Emily, if this actually happened, we'd be on that island. Because we're right down the street from Disney. We're right down the street from the Happy Kingdom, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, like overall, like this one, I think it was just because I watched it too soon. I wasn't too involved with it.
I gave it like a couple days in between.
I think that would have probably been better if I would have done that. But like overall, I didn't hate it. It was like cool. But the Bruce Campbell
part's like
loved it. I was like that. I thought it was so great. I actually rewound it just so I could watch it again. So
Did Pops watch it with you at all? Or no?
Yeah, he did. He watched Escape from New York with me.
You didn't want to watch the second one?
The second one, he just got tired. He was like, all right, I'm going to watch my stuff. I'm like, all right.
I'm going to go watch my stories.
And then, yeah, it was just like, it was just too just on the nose. And then, what kept me like tied in was waiting to see Steve Buscemi more and more. Because I knew he was going to come back around. Like, I'm like, there's no way they're going to have him just at that one scene. And when he came back around, I was like, oh, like, sorry. Like, it was like, oh, yeah, you're looking for so-and-so? He's right over there. And then, like, he drugs him. And then, like, yeah, it was just, like, every little double cross he had, I was like, yeah, that's fantastic. But overall, like...
It's fine. It was fine.
It's
I liked it more. This is, like, my second or third... this is, like, my third or fourth time watching it. I watched it, like, a year or two back. Because it was on.
So you never saw it prior to that?
No, I have. I saw it... around the time it came out, because I think they were showing it on TV because they were...
Yeah, I remember Sci-Fi Channel. That's why I watched it.
And then I remember watching it like on HBO or whatever when it came out. Yeah. And then I've watched it a few times like if it's on. Because I like the Snake Plissken character. I had to explain. So when it got to the Bangkok Rules part, where he shoots him before the can hits the ground, Emily goes, he cheated. And I'm like, he's an anti-hero, sweetie. Of course he's cheating.
The first time I seen this movie, because I watched parts of it, I didn't watch the whole thing, was the scene where they're attacking with the hang gliders. And I remember watching it, like, on the Sci-Fi Channel. I was like, what the fuck is this? Because hang gliders descend at a slow rate. But, like, they were just, like, circling around like vultures, you know what I mean? But, like, they were just kind of, like, obviously they're on strings just going around. And, like, I'm like... this movie's fucking dumb. And then I remember just kind of whatever. And then remember watching it later on where, like, the scene of, like, him being lost in Griffith Park. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and I remember watching, like, for that segment. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But it was one of those where it's like, in my mind, there were two separate movies. I didn't know they were the same film.
Sounds like me watching the Potter movies and I wouldn't know what the fuck is happening. You'd be like, oh, this is what I'm assuming is happening. And... yeah, being fucking wrong and then being disappointed.
As I was watching it, I was like, yeah. But as I was watching it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm seeing where this is going. I do like how they. When did the X-Men come out?
The first one?
Yeah.
2001.
So did the X-Men films bite off of Escape from LA?
No. 1999 after The Matrix.
So 99, 2000.
It came out after The Matrix. Remember that was the big deal with the costumes. They wanted to be look like The Matrix.
So did The Matrix and X-Men still influence on Escape from LA?
With his leather costume?
With his black leather costume?
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm like, and he's like, I'll take the jacket. It's like, yo, take the whole thing, bitch. And they make him dress all in black, and they're like,
Yeah.
and they suit him up in a gray room, just like the X-Men mansion, where he's like putting it up. And I was like, and then they focus on the boots, and then like his belt, which cool belt by the way.
Yeah.
And then they give him all his weapons. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but to me, that's just like, I was like, oh, Bryan Singer must have been a fan of this, or not Bryan Singer, who was
Bryan Singer.
Yeah, was a huge fan of like of this movie, to pull that, because that's I saw that. And
I think, well, I don't think that was a Bryan Singer thing. I think that was a studio thing.
Maybe.
I think that was a studio being like, oh, we're not gonna do their fucking costumes. Those are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Which meanwhile they don't.
Yeah. Dude, that Deadpool and Wolverine, like, you could tell, like, people lost their fucking minds when Wolverine put on the cowls.
30 years for him to fucking do it.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, like, the first film, Escape from New York, fantastic. Fantastic film. This one, if it's on TV, I'll watch it, I guess. If I'm cooking and it's on TV, perfect, because I'll watch over. I'll stop everything, watch Bruce Campbell.
Anytime Bruce Campbell, I'm gonna watch some fucking Bruce Campbell. He's in a Hallmark movie that I would watch a Hallmark movie with him, and he sings.
But like I said, like, I would love to see Bruce Campbell in like more like character roles, because like his makeup on it, like I heard his voice and I was like, I gasped. I'm like, oh my god, is that Bruce? And then like as soon as he came out, like I'm like, no, that's not. I can't tell. I'm like, he's too pretty. I'm like, but as he was talking, I'm like, oh shit, his makeup, like it was so good. But yeah, dude, like I just get so happy when I hear Bruce or I see Bruce Campbell in things that like other than Evil Dead.
He's supposed to be on some TV show coming out on Peacock, some horror TV show.
Yeah.
He pops up in things here and there. The rumor right now is that they're working on a cartoon. An Evil Dead cartoon.
That's cool.
Finish up the TV show.
I think what we should do as a show is retire Corey and bring in Bruce.
You want to put what would Bruce Campbell? Who would Bruce Campbell play?
Yeah, right. Because I think Bruce brings like I love Corey, but Bruce. Man, like I could see him being so
already. So let's maybe let's maybe in the future episodes we can do that. But yeah, speaking of which, we do ask a question next week. I don't know if I want Corey in this.
There's only 1% no for New York. Guarantee that I want. New York. Yeah.
Don't say Cabby because Ernest Borgnine's a fucking badass.
No.
Don't say Harry Dean Stanton because Harry Dean Stanton's a fucking badass.
The guy that plays Duke's assistant.
Okay, yeah, take that guy out. Fuck him.
Right? Because he was like Sonic the Hedgehog with his hair like all spiked up, and then I was like, "You're cool. Like you're trying to be too cool." To me, he reminded me so much like of a Peter Pan or like a Puck like character. That you're just kind of like this like jester of a guy. I'm like, okay, like we get you the fuck out, and if we get Corey in there. At least there'll be like more like character development in it. You know what I mean? Because Corey would just go ham with that. Because can you imagine coming up to like the SWAT team coming in to like look for the president, and you fucking hand them the president's finger, and he just fucking moonwalks and flaps you away? Dude, that'd be so good.
I'll take it.
Yeah. As for
you can't be in LA.
You can't be.
You can only be in one because everybody except for Snake.
Yeah.
There's nobody else is in the other one.
So yeah, just New York.
I've been listening to Howard because I got Sirius right now for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Lisa got it when she got her car. They gave it to her for free. So I've been. It's better than it was a couple years back. Cause I'll pop in every couple years.
Howard is always like, it's for a long time. He was high. He was so good.
You know what you need to do?
And then he dipped down for a bit, and then I got kind of irritated with him. But then he climbed back up again.
Go
but
and
he
listen.
Does these?
Yeah, go. He's
lows.
on Smart. Do you ever listen to the Smart List podcast?
No.
It's Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes.
No, that's a great combo.
Yeah, it's great. He was just on that, and it's a really good interview with him. And he kind of goes into. He kind of talks a little bit about like what changed when he moved over and everything. Give it a listen. I mean, he's been kind of talking about it, but it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, because I jumped in a couple times to listen to his new show, and I'm like, okay, cool, and like he's not as hard as I wouldn't say hard, but he's not as provoking with his questions.
And he did a lot. He did a lot of therapy. That's why, and he was like, I didn't need to be that person.
Yeah,
like he says, like if you ever the question that one of the questions they asked him in that podcast, and I've heard he talks about it in his book is like what was your like one regret?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh shit, dude. He's like, I was a giant dickhead to Robin Williams. Like Robin Williams could have came in and just been funny, and I could have sat back and let him be funny, but I had to be like my fucking self.
No, he was, and he was always arrogant and like.
Yeah.
But then like, I valued seeing him be.
And now, that's what I'm talking about now. Now that
his ego was so much in play that's what I liked about him, because it's like you see it and like you're aware of it. He's faintly aware of it, but when the mic's on, like he's all about but that's where you get the chaos of the show, which made it so much good.
That's the other thing, is like the reason why you don't see as many of those people is they're dying off.
Yeah.
The Whack Pack's fucking dying off slowly but surely, unfortunately. But also, like, he doesn't have 5 days to fill.
Yeah.
He doesn't have 20-something hours a week to fill.
Yeah.
He's got, like, he's on the air for, like, not even 10.
Yeah.
About 10 hours a week is what he's on for. Maybe a little more.
That from what his original schedule was. It's insanely short. Yeah.
So, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't need that as much. Robin doesn't even do the news anymore, and that was always my favorite part. Yeah. They were just talking shit on the news.
Yeah.
And they'd bring guests in, and with Gilbert Gottfried, anytime Gilbert Gottfried was on that fucking show, I laughed my ass off. But now this week it was Eric the actor. Okay. Died 10 years ago this week, so they had a big Eric the actor thing.
Oh wow!
And I played for Emily. Was not impressed with the who's high pitch. She's like, this is boring. I'm like, no, it's not. This is funny as hell. It's me. It's Kelly Clarkson. Who's high pitch? And then they still do the. I mean, there's
any bit with Casey. When I hear the old ones, I love it. I love it because his when he was taking photos with that the German guy who's trying to get Casey shirtless and pantless.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been good. I like it. It's been something to listen to, and it's easier for me to kind of spread it out because I can listen to it on the way home and like on the way to work. I went to a couple shows. 2 weeks ago, I went and saw it was just like a fucked up Saturday morning cartoon.
What?
P-Lander Z.
I don't know what that is.
You didn't go see P-Lander Z with me ever?
P-Lander Z? No.
Okay.
No, right?
The Dickies.
Dickies I've seen.
And Max Sabbath.
Oh, okay, nice.
P-Lander Z is if the Aquabats are like the Super Friends.
Okay.
P-Lander Z is the insane, like, Ultraman.
Oh, they look amazing!
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show. And they are okay.
Oh my god, I need to see this band.
Oh, you do? I thought you have. I will have to kidnap you and you're not getting out of the next time they're in town.
Yeah.
You're not getting out of not seeing P-Lander Z.
Oh, I'm looking up scheduled tours right now.
Oh no, they just left our town 2 weeks ago.
Oh no!
So next time P-Lander Z comes through, we are 100% going because P-Lander Z has the best stage show I have ever seen in my life.
I mean, we could fly to Denver, Colorado. They'll be playing tomorrow. Dang. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Oh, it is 100% the funnest show you'll ever go to.
Ooh, Wichita. I've always wanted to go to Wichita, Kansas.
Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of fields in Kansas.
Yeah. Missouri, India, okay. Dang, that's a bummer. Okay.
And then last weekend, someone we know had Green Day tickets and couldn't go to Green Day.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going in 2 weeks. I'm going next weekend.
Okay.
I don't like the sound at SoFi. Don't go see a concert at SoFi.
Really?
Go to the YouTube. Go to the YouTube theater next to it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I've seen Madness there. I've seen Elvis Costello there. I think I've seen Elvis Costello twice there, maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. YouTube Theater is fantastic.
Yeah.
I did not like Sofi for
the Peacock Theater, in downtown LA.
Not great.
It's okay. It's just.
But I see that they.
But it's just wide. It's just wide.
I don't see concerts there. I see a lot of movie screenings and people talking.
So they do that. That's
where you
saw
your thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I saw Mel Brooks. It's great, but it's just like the Staples Center or whatever it's called now. But it's like it's wide, so they have plenty of seats. But if you're further back, you're not going to see the stage out that way.
Yeah, and that's my beef with going to big shows anyway. I want to be Johnny when we were there. He's like, hey, I want to go on the floor, and I'm like, we don't have floor tickets, bud.
Yeah, no, I like his attitude because honestly, if you could weasel your way in there, I've done it.
Yeah, you're much more slicker than I am.
Yeah.
But the Linda Lindas were always good. Rancid has only gotten better with age.
I saw them at the last San Diego Shipwreck show. Was like a year ago, 2 years ago. Fantastic.
Fucking only got better with age. They had 30 minutes to play and they crammed like 12 to 14 songs. Just boom, 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 boom. Just knocked them out and were fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I'm gonna get a Rancid shirt when we go because I don't think I've ever had a Rancid shirt, but fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The Smashing Pumpkins sounded like ass.
I've heard that from a lot of people. I've heard like they went to go see a couple of their shows and like it's just there's just they were saying they're blaming the sound quality. I'm like I think it's just the band.
Well, I'm gonna find out because Petco's supposed to sound better than the
Jane's Addiction show got canceled.
I saw that.
That's a bummer.
Speaking of getting canceled, did you hear about Neil Gaiman?
No, what happened?
Oh, dude, Neil Gaiman. They're saying that he assaulted like 5 people, and people are coming out of the woodworks.
No, yeah, you could tell he's an angry man. He's very reserved when he's like in his element, but like if you are, I could tell when people aren't like their entire true selves. He seems like an asshole, and like, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. That's a hard one. It's like, dude, I would be like we had that conversation. Cosby was a fucking hard one.
Because his wife, she's.
They're not married anymore, but whatever he's being accused of, I feel like she's in the middle of it, allegedly.
Okay. Yeah, because I could see her being more, like, vindictive and, like, spiteful.
The vibe I get off of her, I don't like. I've never been an Amanda Palmer fan.
Yeah.
And the vibe, it just doesn't, like, it always feels like it always feels like my art is more important than everybody else.
So did he beat a fan
no.
with his copy of American Gods?
No, it's no. They're saying that he like sexually assaulted people.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not buying that.
I don't. He's saying that everything was consensual.
Maybe if he's drunk and he got a little handsy, but I don't think it'd be that way.
It's like a conservative like news thing in England that's doing it. And they think that there's some people who are like, well, that sounds like it's trying to get back at Neil a bit because he's been kind of very vocal against what's her face. I think. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm in agreement with you. But I still think he has got a nasty little temper on him.
But apparently, like, yeah, it's rough. I hope it's not real. Because it's rough. I've got a whole shelf of books. I've got.
So you're a book burner? Is that what you are?
I'm not a book burner.
Okay.
I'm a book burner.
I
just bought a used copy of
Mein Kampf?
No.
Okay.
Of the Graveyard Book.
Okay.
And then I read a book, not Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
Incidents.
So wait, how do you feel about people's music then? Do you separate the artist from the music?
It's
because I can tell you right now, I love Michael Jackson music. I love it so much.
But you think you touched those kids?
I you know what, I go on these like this teeter-totter of the whole thing where sometimes I'm like, no, like that's not him, and then other times I'm like, dang, like that documentary is very damning, and you're like, well, maybe he just looked at kids' buttholes. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But like I don't know, but like I had to separate him. Because the thing is like, because the thing too is like, I don't blame Michael Jackson for if he did do stuff, because like I'm sure it's all like. I don't know, yeah.
Go on.
It's because, like, his childhood with his father and, like, his brothers and sisters is ridiculous. So who knows what fucking weird fucking issues happen to his psyche then that manifests later on.
I have this theory that
so,
you are permanently the age of when the big thing happens to you. Like, whether it's success or whether it's
I agree
trauma
100%.
or whatever it is. I feel like you're permanently that age.
That's why I feel like I'm 5 years old forever.
Is that when everything happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had success, whether it was good or bad, whatever it was, I got, if your big thing was like, I had a baby early, like when I was in high school, you're going to be a fucking 15-year-old who had a kid in high school until you fucking die.
Yeah, and then I believe that entirely too, because when I used to work at a bunch of different hotels, but really rapidly when people would come in for conventions, especially doctors act like teenagers. And you're like, oh, okay. And then I'm thinking like, why? I'm like, because that was the time you went into medical school, and then like you just had to stop and then transition into this new person who knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
But when they're off the clock at conventions, it is wild. It is wild, and the amount of inappropriateness that happens there, it's alarming. But whatever. That's why I stick to holistic medicine and witch doctors for all my ailments.
But in regards to the separating,
you get me a raven feather and a chicken egg, and you just rub that chicken egg on me and just make me feel better. And
bam, goodbye AIDS.
goodbye AIDS.
If you can get me a Phoenix claw, I can clear up that clap. Phoenix claw, clear up clap. That is a fucking tongue twister. Anyway, but yeah, the whole separating the artist from, I think it depends.
It's hard. Sometimes it's really hard.
It depends. Because, like Cosby, I didn't want to believe Cosby. Once you start getting to double digits, though, you're like, bud.
Like R. Kelly. There's some great R. Kelly songs.
I don't like R. Kelly anyway.
But like, there's some of them are like, okay, cool, like,
And I know, and they're all fucking trapped in the closet.
Exactly. Or the Diddler, P Diddy. Like some of his songs are great, but you're like, okay, cool. Especially now with this whole like freak off that he has.
The baby oil.
The baby oil. Do you know how long a baby oil will last? If you buy one jar,
I'm gonna go with timeless.
If the normal average rate of one normal size bottle of baby oil, it will last you 3.5 years, and he had 1,000. But then like it's funny too, because like now like people are posting up videos that that Diddy posted up randomly through social media and whatnot, and you realize like, oh, this is way more sinister. Like there was one where like he goes, oh, this is what happens when you invite white people to one of my parties, and it's like this famous DJ, and he's got a cup in his hand, and he's just like passed out, and you're just thinking, oh, like you just drank too much, partied too hard, and like that was it. But you're thinking like, no, like now you're hearing from what happened with P Diddy that he drugged him 100%. You know what I mean? But no, it's terrible. My thing is just like the video tapes or footage that they got from like his mansion. Like I pray those do not get released.
Right.
Just for the victims, dude. Like everybody who was there, like everybody doesn't need to see it. Everybody doesn't need to be out like that. That's ridiculous. But who knows?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Forrest.
So next month, is my favorite month. Besides it being November, my birthday month. It's going to be Coen Brothers month.
Coen Brothers. Coen Brothers? Coen Brothers.
Coen Brothers month.
Got it.
We're watching a little movie called Blood Simple. It is their first movie.
Vampires.
No.
Menstruation?
We'll find out
next week.
Well, that's going to do it for the episode this week. If you have any questions or comments, you can hit us up at our Instagram,
at YHBlankThat.
or you can email us at yhblankthat@gmail.com.
Bye.
Bye.